He was dead, the head of the high tribunal, the upright magistrate whose approachable life was a proverb in all of the courts of Minecraftia. Travelers, villagers, young adventurers that had greeted him at the sight of his large, thin, pale face, lit up by two sparkling blue eyes, bowing low in token of respect. He had passed his life in pursuing crimes and protecting the weak. Murderers, cheaters, skeletons and zombies had no more redoubtable enemy, for he seemed to read the most secret thoughts of their mind. He was dead now, at the age of 82, honored by the homage and followed by the regrets of a whole people. Villagers in purple trousers had escorted him to the tomb, and villagers in white aprons had spoken words and shed tears that seemed to be sincere to his grave. But in his little house there was a strange journal found by the dismayed notary, where he also kept records of the greatest criminals he ever caught in a chest. June 20th, 1851. I have just left court. I have condemned Blondel to death. Now, why did this man kill his 5 children? Frequently one meets with people to whom the destruction of life is pleasure. Yes, it should be a pleasure, the greatest of all, perhaps. For is not killing the next thing to creating, to make and to destroy? These 2 words contain the history of the universe, all the history of the world, all that is all. Why is it not intoxicating to kill? 25th June. To think that a being is there who lives, who walks, who runs. A being? What is a being? That animated thing that bears in it the principle of motion and a will ruling the motion? It is attached to nothing, this thing. Its feet do not belong to the ground. It is a grain of life that moves on earth, and this grain of life, coming I know not whence, one can destroy at one's will. Then nothing more. It perishes. It is finished. 26th June. Why, then, is it a crime to kill? Yes, why? On the contrary, it is the law of nature. The mission of every being is to kill. He kills to live, and he kills to kill. The beast kills without ceasing, all day, every instant of his existence. Man kills without ceasing to nourish himself. But since he needs, besides to kill for pleasure, he has invented hunting. The children kills the insects he finds, the little birds, all the little animals that come in his way. But that this does not suffice the irresistible need to massacre that is in us. It is not enough to kill beasts, we must kill man too. Long ago, this need was satisfied by human sacrifices. Now the requirements of social life have made murder a crime. We condemned and punished the assassin. But as we cannot live without yielding to this natural, imperious instinct of death, we relieve ourselves, from time to time, by wars. Then a whole nation slaughters another nation. It is a feast for blood, a feast that maddens army and that intoxicates civilians, women, and children who read by lamplight at night the feverish stories of a massacre. One might suppose that those destined to accomplish these butcheries of men would be despised. No, they are loaded with honors. They are clad in gold and resplendent garments. They wear plumes on their heads and ornaments on their breasts, and they are given crosses, rewards, titles of every kind. They are proud, respected, loved by women, cheered by the crowd, solely because their mission is to shed human blood. They drag through the streets their instruments of death, that the passerby, clad in black, looks on with envy. For to kill is a great law set by nature in the heart of existence. There is nothing more beautiful and honorable than killing. June 30th. To kill is the law, because nature loves eternal youth. She seems to cry in all her unconscious acts, "Quick! Quick! Quick!" The more she destroys, the more she renews herself. 2nd July. A human being. What is a human being? Though thought is a reflection of all that is, through memory and silence, it is an abridged edition of the universe, whose history it represents, a mirror of things and of nations. Each human being becomes a microcosm and a macrocosm. 3rd July. It must be a pleasure, unique, full of zest to kill, to have there before one the living, thinking being, to make therein a little hole, nothing but a little hole, to see the red thing flow, which is the blood, which makes life, and to have before one only a heap of lump flesh, cold, inert, void of thought. 5th August. I, who have passed my life in judging, condemning, killing by the spoken word, killing by the guaranteeing those had killed by the knife, I, if I should do as all the assassins have done whom I have smitten, who would know it? 10th August. Who would ever know? Who would ever suspect me, especially if I should choose a being I had no interest in doing away with? 15th August. The temptation has come to me. It pervades my whole being. My hands tremble with the desire to kill. No longer. I killed a little creature as an experiment. For a beginning, Jean, my servant, had a pig who ran around my front room. I sent him on an errand, and I took a diamond sword, and I walked over to the creature. Each little step I took, my heart was just beating fast, and once I got up to it, his heart was beating faster and faster. But I could not see the blood. Then I did as assassins do, real ones. I washed my sword. I washed my hands. And I took the body, the corpse, to the garden to hide it. I buried it under the potato plant. It's never been found. Every day I shall eat a potato from the very plant that took its life. My servant cried like the sky cried. He thought his bird has flown. How could he suspect me? Ha! What a little thing! I had gone for a walk on the road by my house. I was thinking of nothing, literally nothing. A child was on the road, eating bread, just like any good child would do. He stops to see me pass and says, "Good day, Mr. President." And thought enters my head, shall I kill him? And I answered, "Are you alone, little boy?" "Yes, sir." "All alone in the woods?" "Yes, sir." The wish to kill him intoxicated me like wine. I approached him quietly, persuaded that he was going away, and suddenly slashed with my sword, and then slashed again. And one more time, then he moved no more. I threw the body in the ditch and some weeds on top. I returned home and dined well. What a little thing it was! In the evening I was very gay, light, rejuvenant. I passed the evening at the Perfects. They found me ready, but I have not seen blood. I am trembling. Yet another. I was walking by the river after breakfast, and I saw a fisherman in the water. By the water. It was noon. A sword was standing by my hand, as if expressly for me. I took it, I returned, I raised it like a club, and with one blow of the edge, boom! I clipped the fisherman's head. Oh, he bled, this one. Oh, he bled. This one, rose-colored blood, it flowed into the water quite gently, and I went away with a grave step. If I have been seen, ha! Ha! The affair of the fisherman makes a great stir. His nephew, who fished with him, is charged with the murder. 26th October. The examining magistrate affirms that the nephew is guilty. Everyone in the town believes it. 27th October. The nephew makes a very poor witness. He had gone to the other village to buy bread, he declared. He swore that his uncle had been killed in his absence. Who would have believed him? 28th October. The nephew has all but confessed. They have badgered him so. Ha ha ha! Justice! 15th November. There are overwhelming proofs against the nephew, who was his uncle's heir. I shall preside at the sessions. 25th January. To death! To death! To death! I have condemned him to death. The Advocate General spoke like an angel. Yet another. I shall go to see him executed. 10th March. It is done. They guillotined him this morning. He died very well. That gave me pleasure. How fine it is to see a man's head cut off. Now I shall wait. I can wait. It would take such a little thing to let myself be caught. The manuscript contained more, but but nothing besides crimes. And I fled.